biggest question of the existence, the biggest question to the humanity, the biggest question to you and to me as well. Who are we? Where did we come from? Are we special? Do life exist on earth due to some magical mysterious force? Or are we ordinary? Some ordinary group of people floating on an ordinary piece of stone that is revolving around an ordinary sized star, and the star located at the edge of some ordinary piece of galaxy. Are we that ordinary? Or are we special? Since we are not following any religion, this is science, we know that religion is based on set of belief, right? Belief number 1, belief number 2, and so on. But science, it doesn't work that way, right? It completely follows evidence. It completely follows observations. It completely follows the mathematical authenticity of something, right? If not, that's not science. Okay? So moving forward, since you already know the weird name of the channel, Broke Physics, today you'll get to know why we call it Broke Physics. And to begin with, welcome to AD Podcast. And today we will answer the biggest question ever put in front of humanity, in front of Homo sapiens, in front of us, right? And that is, who are we? Are we special or ordinary? So to begin this discussion, or a kind of monologue with you, we will start with some bit of history. Let's get back to times of 18th century. There was a time where we were in confusion about light. What is light? Is it wave, as said by Christian Huygens, or is it particle, as Newton called it corpuscles, right? There was a very big question about light. And as the video further continues, you'll get to know how things are so much linked between us and the light. Okay, so moving on. In 1801, a very talented scientist, Thomas Young, he conducted an experiment that is famously known today as Young's double slit experiment. And that experiment was a boom, because that proved to us that light was a wave. Okay, light is a wave. Bingo. But no, there was a time in future something different was going to happen. But let's go with the chronology, right? I don't want to get out of the path. So 1801, we got to know that light is wave, and that was a bang moment for science. And then people were in confusion. What was the confusion? The biggest confusion that still persists, guys. And the confusion was, we know about waves. We are well introduced about waves. When you talk about sound wave, how does it flow? How does it travel? Through medium, and the medium is air, right? Sound wave travels through air as medium, okay? So moving on to some different kind of wave, water waves. When you drop a piece of stone on a still surface of water, you see a wave, right? A circular concentric waves, and that wave travels. Where does it travel? It travels in its medium, and the medium is water. But this is the point of like myth bursting, okay guys? If light is wave, how does the light from sun reaches to earth? Because we know in between there is nothing. There is an ocean of nothingness, only vacuum. So what's the medium? How did the light reach to us? How does the light from billions and billions kilometers away, the stars, how do we see them if light is a wave? And that was a very big question. And we already had some very good answers to that. And the most beautiful answer was ether. Not just ether. It was called the luminiferous ether. It sounds so good, right? I love it. I usually do it twice. And the ether, it was called the luminiferous ether. Okay? And it was kind of villain, It was a kind of, stuck bone to a lot of people, a lot of scientists who were so-called very famous then. And people held to the concept of ether very well. Even Einstein, Albert Einstein, your lovely, my lovely, our lovely Albert Einstein, he has many of his papers which are all based on ether. And Maxwell? Maxwell, when he came up with the theory of electromagnetism, he used ether, and without ether the entire derivation was not possible. And now, if ether exists, if there is a medium to light, then our earth is moving. We know that earth is revolving around the sun, and sun is in motion. And if earth is moving through that ether wind, then we should have some way to calculate our speed. You're getting it? To calculate the speed of earth with respect to this medium, right? For example, there is a river and we are just on a boat that is floating on the river. The river is our medium. We are traveling on the surface of the river, right? We can easily calculate our speed with respect to the water, right? It might be if the water is moving in 20 kilometers per hour and we are moving at 30 in the opposite direction, then the total relative speed is going to be 50 kilometers per hour. So it's very easy to calculate the speed with respect to the medium, right? And to prove the existence of ether, the very famous experiment was conducted.